All right, so we're gonna check out this video from Amir Odom called "Why Furries Have Such a Bad Reputation." And if you don't know what a furry is, let me explain it to you. They're basically these people that dress up in large animal costumes that are extremely furry, and they fully believe that this costume is a part of their that whoever they're dressing up as. Honestly, some even take it as far as believing that it is a part of their gender ideology. Now, that may sound crazy, but to I'm pretty sure like thousands, if not tens of thousands of people, they think this way. And I'm not sure if it's a mental thing or something happened to them when they were earlier in their earlier stages of childhood. I'm really not sure. Maybe it's a trauma response. I'm not sure. But what I can tell you is that these people have no shame when walking around in their costumes in broad day. And it's especially interesting when you don't see them at conventions. They're literally like at the grocery store dressed like this, or in your local GameStop, which I'm not sure if people still go to GameStop anymore because physical copies of video games are starting to be non-existent. You can see that in the console themselves, like they're really charging extra for a freaking C drive, not a C drive, but whatever that drive is. But that's its own separate video, which I don't even know if I'm gonna make because nobody's watching these anymore, but I just love making videos. My point is, a lot of people put on these costumes and truly believe that they are not, the person that they were born as, but they're, Xavier, the fox with glasses, black hair, and a blue mouth. It's honestly mind-blowing. I have no other words to say about it besides that. Now, is there anything wrong with what they're doing? No, not really. No, I would actually, no, not at all. Unless you're committing heinous acts while dressed up as, like I said, my guy Xavier here, and like committing with like the thought in mind that you are not yourself, you're this guy Xavier, he committed the crime, not Ian. I would never do that. But once Xavier comes out of his shell, I'm not responsible for his actions. But yeah, I mean, that's basically furries in a nutshell. I mean, there's more to them and whatnot, and I'm pretty sure our guy here, Amir Odom, is going to explain that. But for me personally, I have never once thought of putting on a bear outfit and pretending that I'm one of the Berenstain Bears that are just looking for porridge. So before we take a look at this video, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, comment Basement Dweller if you've made it this far, and let's get into it here.
It can mean so many different things.
Last year at my local Pride Parade, I met a furry. I actually met a couple of them, and the conversations I've had over the last few months with them and learning from them, talking to them, hanging out with them, I've learned a lot. In this video, we'll be focusing specifically on furries. It's important to note that this is not a furry. This is pup play.
Yeah, see, and this is you may have even seen this, to be quite honest. This is the part of, I guess, the furries that I may have been thinking about, but this is 100% a fet. You know what I'm saying? This is 100% this right here, what this guy is doing with the mesh tank top and the dog mask. That is a fet. That is a fet. All right. And I only say that because he's not even dressed up as a furry, as you could see from a couple of other examples. These guys, they're actually dressed in costumes that are furry, right? This guy just wants to be humiliated on his own will.
It is a kink, and it is something that's completely different from the furry community. Again, this is not a furry either. This is a Therian / quadruped. It's basically,
the fact that we have so many words
from the furry community. Again, this is not a furry either.
The fact that we have so many different phrases and terms for these people is, I mean, honestly, where is our society going? I'm convinced at this point that we're living inside of a simulation, because if you showed this video, just the first 30 seconds of this video, to somebody from the 1900s, they would think that we were probably, I don't know, witches. Like, even back then, which witches were debunked, I'm pretty sure at that point in time, they would actually think we were witches. Like, they would think we were casting spells and making people act like this, because there's absolutely no way. Right?
Therian / quadruped is basically, if that's to dumb it down, it's like parkour, but with an animal mask. Like,
I wonder, did she glue that onto her
Therian
back?
/ quadruped is basically,
did she glue this on, or You know what?
If I have to dumb it down, it's like parkour, but with an animal mask. Like you're doing the motions of parkour, but like an animal. Teach their own, but I'm not talking about that. Are there some Therians that are furries and are there some furries that are Therians? For sure, and some of it does blend, but it blends just as much as like a gay dude and a lesbian. They have nothing to do with each other except the shared commonality that they like the same sex. So a Therian and a furry, they have this shared commonality of like being something else, but that's pretty much it.
Yeah, but I mean, like, at the same time, they also, it's not necessarily, I guess, for me and for them, thinking that it's the only shared commonality is that they're being something else. It's more along the lines of they aren't comfortable, or they're also not comfortable in their own skin. Again, they might share the same like trauma responses from something that happened to each other, and I say each other, comparing the Therians and the furries and the people with like that are obsessed, not obsessed, but have the kink of pup play. I'm pretty sure it's a little bit deeper than just that one shared commonality that they enjoy being something else, you know, or whatever he said. I'm sort of losing thought, or my train of thought here, because I keep thinking about where did she have that tail? How did she attach that tail?
Fandoms and communities, they get very deep very fast. So I have to clear the air and make that distinction first and let you guys know that we will not be talking about the people crawling on the floor acting like an animal, or be talking about the pup play stuff. It's specifically furries. So if there are any other communities or niches that you want me to make a video on or talk about, be sure to subscribe and let me know in the comments below. So without further ado, let's dive right into this video.
How you doing? Susan Hyman is here, one of our Sci-Fi Buzz producers, fresh back from Con Fur Runs 4. Now, why the fur there? What's that fur?
That's for furry fandom. It was an anthropomorphic animation festival.
What the heck is that?
Oh, I thought you'd ask that. That is when you ascribe human traits and characteristics to an animal.
Is this? Oh my God! Yeah, this is from 1993. I was gonna say, like, this, the color, the type of, I guess, film they're using, or whatever, not film, but you know how they're recording the video. It looks like it's straight out of the 90s, and man, am I old. Oh my God, because I remember, like, I can distinctly point out that this video is from the 90s. And even then, right, were there furry cons then? Because I know there's this one I guess there's this one clip, but I don't even think it's a clip. I think it might be like a whole episode from American Dad, like back in the day, like early American Dad, where they're like dressing up, not dressing up, but I guess it's an Eyes Wide Shut party, but like for furries. There's this squirrel and there's this taxi cab. The taxi cab hits the squirrel, and then he gets like, goes over top of him, and like, you know, right, and he's like vroom vroom, and it's so interesting. And that, ever since I've seen that, I always, I guess, correlated that idea with what furries, how real furries must take themselves when they're in these costumes.
Oh,
Kind of like.
I like this picture here. Oh, is it Dan Rather? Oh, that's you!
Very good, Mike.
Oh wow, that is an interesting image if I've ever seen one. Hold on, try to make this like a little bit bigger. All right, this is the best I got. I'm gonna have to, oh my God, it's been so long since I've made a video. I'm gonna have to brush, like, dust the, like, blow the dust off.
Nicely done.
Yeah.
This is Furry Con Festival from 1993. Furries, this fandom, this community has been around for multiple decades. Like this person said, it's liking when you're giving human characteristics to animals, which we all enjoy or have, whether it be Bugs Bunny, Zootopia, Sonic the Hedgehog.
But the thing is with those people, it's more or less that it's not even just that we're giving these animals human-like characteristics. They're funny, they're put in comedic skits, and they're put in like movies that we can enjoy. This is more or less like, what are you doing? Again, this is taking it as far as considering it to be a part of literally you, which I don't really understand. Like, do you need to put on a costume? I don't know. Maybe you do. I don't know. Now I'm thinking about this out loud. Maybe you do. I don't know. Let me know in the comments if you're furry. And I'm not laughing at you. I'm just, you know, I don't know.
I mean, Courage the Cowardly Dog, we can go down a list of people and animators and cartoons taking animals but then making them Looney Tunes, actual like human characteristics, and it's kind of that. And it just even blends it out into mascotting. The people who enjoy being a mascot, the school mascot or NFL mascot, that kind of vibe. So that's just giving a little backstory to this fandom.
Now, you're talking about ascribing personal traits to like a Bugs Bunny or Roger Rabbit or something like that.
Well, it starts there, but just take a look at this piece.
See? Exactly. It's not just giving these like animals, it's not necessarily giving, it's like reverse, right? It's like, it's literally like reverse. You're not giving an animal a human-like characteristic. You're giving a human animal-like characteristics. And for what? I don't get it. Like, what purpose does this serve? The only people that might even think you're funny or entertaining are other enthusiasts, and there's not many of you guys out there. It's like there are people that are so upset about the LGBT community. It's like there's not that many people out there like that. Like, you guys still hold the majority. I don't know. I say you guys, and like I'm not included in that.
Because it goes way beyond.
Fun, fur, and hundreds of fans were out in force at this year's 4th annual Conference in Costa Mesa, California. Since its inception, the convention has evolved into a high-energy celebration of anthropomorphic art, animation, and attitude.
Conference was started in late 1988 after several years when we had been putting on parties at other conventions for people with an interest in anthropomorphic characters, which is basically everything from Mickey Mouse and Bugs Bunny to the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And
all right, so what is, because I'm thinking anthropomorphic whatever. I think Five Nights at Freddy's, right? Hold on. Anthropomorphic. I think I spelled that right. Did I mean anthro? Yes, I absolutely meant that. So oh my lord, oh my god. Anthropomorphism is the attribution of human traits, emotions, or intentions to non-human entities. It is considered to be an innate tendency of human psychology. Okay, so I guess we're all furries and none of us knew it, I guess. We're the furries. Is a furry in the room with us? Like, I don't understand it. So does everybody just think this on some side of the spectrum, whether it be like very unlikely to highly likely to be a, you know, furry? I'm trying so hard to, not even trying so hard, I'm just like really trying not to dehumanize these people and only can like put them under the scope of, you know, being a weirdo. I don't want to do that. I want to give them the benefit of the doubt because, you know, maybe they might have a point here. If everybody thinks that they're a furry, then and on some end of the spectrum, who knows, maybe they're just these thousands, maybe 10,000 people, they're just on that likely side of the spectrum and we're just not. I don't know.
in between.
This thing's been around for forever. So that's a little backstory just briefly on how this isn't something new or something that's super weird or different. This has always been around. It's been a thing, but much like everything else we talk about on this channel, it's the fringes, it's the people acting crazy that give everything a bad reputation, so to say. But that's just a little backstory on how it's come to be, a little intro to how people start to get into it, but it does branch off into there. I'm not saying there are any like sexual aspects to the fandom in certain sects. I'm not saying that, you know, everything's appropriate for children. No, I'm just shedding highlight to how majority of it is grown adults minding their business, doing what they want to do.
And that's what I'm trying to say. Like, the majority of people that do this kind of, like, I guess thing, go to the conventions, even just put on the suits in public just because, they're just minding their own business. There's nothing really wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. Like, you're not hurting, harming, or really disturbing anybody. I mean, it's their choice to look at you and for how long, right? So it's not like you're, I mean, you kind of are, like, some people kind of are like just calling for attention, wanting people to either go up to them, talk to them, I guess just look at them in general, because them as themselves aren't entertaining or really one to look at without the costume on. And that may be, again, a side effect of the putting the costume on, at least maybe a side effect of how they lived out their childhood. Maybe they're the ugly duckling that they considered themselves, or maybe they just didn't have a lot of friends because they weren't, not that they weren't friendly, but because they were into different things. Not necessarily, didn't have to be like the whole furry thing, but maybe they're just into Yu-Gi-Oh too much, you know, and never really connected with anybody as a kid. So when growing up, so basically they found this whole furry thing at some point in time in their life, kind of really glommed onto it. Now when they put on this suit and regular, I say regular people, but like people without this ideology, the furry ideology, see them and come up to them and touch them and talk to them and take pictures of them. They never really had that. So now it's like, okay, well, I like this now because like it's not that, you know, some people are weirded out by it and think I'm cringy, but other people are genuinely interested, and I've never had that type of attention before. So little column A, little column B, but we'll see.
That's just that.
Furry is a decentralized fandom, and what that means is that the furry fandom doesn't revolve around one specific piece of media. A centralized fandom would be, for example, Star Wars. The Star Wars fandom revolves around the Star Wars movies primarily. When somebody talks about furry or mentions that they are one, you should ask what that means. For example, to Fox News and a lot of the media, furry might mean identifying as an animal, which isn't furry, it's actually Therian. But
yeah, so maybe, okay, so then maybe I'm thinking that the whole Therian thing was the furries all along, right? Even me, I'm pretty sure tons of people probably think that there's no distinction between them, but I mean, I guess as she just said, like those who think that they're an animal, those are Therians. Like the girl that was jumping around in the fox whatever costume or whatever the hell, and as Amir called her what's it called, Therian, I guess that's the clear distinction between them. And I'm assuming we're gonna figure out exactly what a furry is in 2 seconds.
there's a lot of misinformation about what furry actually is. And if you talk to somebody who self-identifies as a furry, it might mean self-expression, performance and mascoting, artistic expression, the way somebody makes their living, sexual expression. It can.
So I wasn't wrong about the whole sexual, what's it called, identity, at least. I didn't mean to put them all in group together, but yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure that American Dad clip that I was talking about earlier, where he was like the car was grinding on top of the roadkill being the squirrel. I guess it was pretty accurate because yeah, like how does one even do that in a costume, right? Like, are there zippers? I mean, I'm sure there are zippers because you have to use the bathroom, right? But like, do you take it off at some point? Because I'm pretty sure like there's a head, right? That's like a large head. It's just, and there can't be, I don't know. Is it just straight penny? Is it just straight full penny and no foreplay? Like, so many questions about the sexual part of this, but let's continue.
It means so many different things.
Valid. And that's why I took the time to go to the source and actually hang out and talk to actual furries. I'm listening. This person said Fox News and what you see on mainstream media, oh, it's just people that think they're animals, they're stupid, they're this and that. I've learned that one, like again, people that think they're animals, that's something else. But two, when it comes to the furry people, they're grown adults, wealthy as hell, established as hell, minding their business, participating in a hobby that they just enjoy themselves in.
Really? Because I mean, maybe you're in like a different part of the furry demographic than I am, because the only people that I see are the same like type of people that I guess you could say peruse GameStop, honestly. And I'm not sure if these wealthy people that Amir's talking about here are perusing GameStop or just in the mall, you know, as a furry. Could be. I don't know. I think of wealthy, affluent furries as like the eyes wide shut type shit. You know what I mean? But hey, again, maybe I'm just lumping everybody into one category wrongfully so.
I don't think there's nothing wrong with it. There's some things I disagree with. Yeah, some of the different sects of it for sure. But for the most part, they're just minding their business. And there's so many different things of what a furry actually means, because for a lot of people it is just self-expression, it is just a hobby because they like the theatrics and like being in a suit and feeling more comfortable. We have a lot more we're going to get into later, but that's something that I learned off the bat when speaking to certain furries and interviewing them and talking to them, which I'm respecting their privacy. It's just been interesting learning about it, and that's why I want to share it with you guys, because they get such a bad rep and I'm sitting here like, but why? So we're going through that today.
For example, for me, furry is mascotting and performance arts. I loved being my high school and college mascot, so naturally it translated well into a group of people that also love mascotting.
See? Told you. It's like, and again, it's something that happened in her earlier years, and it's not necessarily a trauma response, but it's some sort of response to putting on a costume. And I would go as far as to say she was one of those theater kids and was only friends with other theater kids. And then when she got older, she didn't grow out of, you know, being, you know, I guess the theater kid. And a lot of people did. And I guess she didn't go to a school or was living in a location where being a theater kid or that type of demo, like archetype, is accepted, widely accepted, like it would be in other parts of the United States. So she kept that same mentality because that's the only thing that that's the only characteristic of her that is, I guess, that she's good at, is being a theater kid, right? Now let's say she gets out of high school, and now let's say she gets out of high school, she goes to Duke University, right? You don't really know Duke for too many things but for basketball and its sports. So what does she do? She joins the mascotting team or whatever, and wants to become a mascot because she gets to put on a show, right? And she's that girl that just never took off the costume, you know? She's always just loved being inside the costume. Is there anything wrong with that? No, there's not. But at the same time, you gotta have some self-introspection at some point and think to yourself, what am I really doing this for? You have to have some type of self-evaluation. And if it's for the right reasons, then so be it. But if it's to, I guess, become a shell of your, you know, the person that you really are, then you might need some help. And I say the word shell like quite literally too, because you're putting on this costume. It's a shell that's protecting you, or that's protecting your true self. And some people, I know I say that, but, and not considering that these people putting on this shell would consider the shell them true selves, but it's protecting your, I guess, alter identity, that, hey, this guy is way more widely liked because of what he can do for others compared to you, and you might as well just keep this shit on because it's not cutting it. You know, people didn't come here for you, they came here for this. And because, again, the suit makes them laugh, it makes it more entertaining, it makes other people laugh, it makes that person who's wearing the suit more entertaining, XYZ. So I mean, it's very interesting. It's a very interesting world. Let's just hear this guy out.
For some people, it's other things. For example, furry is not sexual expression to me, and it's not working with textiles and furs, although it is a way I make my living because I do sell 3D printed things to furries. It's a group of people that also love mascotting. For some people, it's other things. For example, furry is not sexual expression to me, and it's not working with textiles and furs, although it is a way I make my living because I do sell 3D printed things to furries. It's a lot of different things for many different people. I would always encourage asking what that is to that person.
Yeah, I would just ask. You don't have to come off the bat being very brash or rude or disrespectful or thinking that's weird, that's stupid. There's a lot of things that people do that's stupid to other people, but for the most part, they're not really harming anybody. And that person brings up a great point about the economy and about how that person makes a living selling 3D art. Y'all, these suits, they cost money. A lot of money. From the people who put together the suits, from the people that throw the events, from the people that there's so much that goes into the fandom where it is its own little like economy of people supporting each other's artwork and really furthering, honestly, American businesses. Truth be told, these are small American businesses all hyping each other up, buying and trading each other's art and
listen, Amir, man, I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. I really only watch Amir Odom to hate watch, honestly, and it's not because I'm on one side of the spectrum or the other. It's just because, man, he has some really bad takes, like terrible takes, and I honestly only like to get perspective. Right. I like to listen to everybody because it gives me perspective, and he has some really bad takes. But I will say this, and I really believe he's only saying this because I think the majority of furries are, if IYK, I guess. I don't know. That's so cringe. But I mean, he has a point. He has a point. He definitely has a point. A lot of these costumes are American made. Are all of them? No. You can get a lot of these costumes from Temu, I'm pretty sure, or Amazon, and who knows who the seller is, right? And especially in this economy, yes, these costumes, they cost a lot of money. Where do you think people are getting this type of money from? If he thinks that, you know, all of these furry people are wealthy, affluent people that just, you know, dress up on the weekend because it's a part of who they are, I think he's sorely mistaken. I think a lot of these people are like, you know, I don't know, young adults, really just young adults. A lot could be like you know, you get into like the brony side, and a lot of them are just like and some of them could be like, you know, older men. I rarely see I really rarely see a lot of women doing this. Or maybe again, I'm not in this community, so I don't know. I really don't know. Let's, instead of yapping, let's just again keep talking or keep watching.
Promoting, it's huge. It's a big deal for a lot of people, and it for sure stimulates the economy.
This is the most expensive fursuit ever sold. In May of 2021, a maker,
like, see, look at this. Look at this, bro. Like, how could anybody manage to like do anything sexual in this costume? I don't get it. I don't understand it. Like, how like, I get it, he has jeans and it's not like furry legs or whatever, but like, look at his hands. Does he have to take off the gloves, unzip the jeans, put back on his gloves, and then like maneuver his thing? Like, I don't, even for the woman, like, that's even more confusing. Like, is there a flap in the back? Like, how are y'all managing this? How do you consider this a part of your sexuality? Is beyond me.
The furry community, beloved for their amazing Toonie-style suits known as Zuri Studios, opened an auction for a custom fursuit slot, which baffled the community as its price within minutes hit an unreal $24,000. But
you see how he just like looked at us like, told you. Oh my god, I told you. Yeah, bro, it's a fucking, look at this thing. Yes. Look at all the material that goes into this. Yes, it's going to cost that much. Like, what? Oh, I told you. Shut the fuck. Oh my god, I hate this guy so much. I just, oh my god. Oh my god, I just hate him so much.
But it doesn't stop there. The bidding war went down to the final hour, with the final amount being a whopping 50,000 USD. This crushed the previous record of 17,000, which was held by Mixed Candy since 2018. Shortly after the sale, the buyer garnered massive online attention, with people mesmerized by both the price and quality of the suit.
Also, before you say anything, how do we hear him so clearly? Is there a mic there? He has to be like mic'd up in there, even though we can't see it here. He has to be mic'd up in there. I can't imagine that he's like recording his voice like in post, and he's just like shaking his head like, I don't know, ghosting what he's saying pre-pro. You know what I'm saying?
I'm telling you, when you start learning about the
What are you telling us?
money they put in these things.
Okay, when we start learning about them, honestly, what do we have to learn? Look at this, bro. Look at this. If you want something that's expertly made, not even expertly made, but something that's gonna last you a really long time, you're not gonna get it. You're not gonna get shit quality stuff, right? You're gonna get something that looks something like this. And I don't even know how much this costs, but like, if you want something that, you know, you consider you, like something that you consider a part of you, yes, you would want it to be good, bro. Like, I don't understand what's so hard to understand about that. He's like, why are we even watching this video? I thought this was gonna be something else. Like, what is the bad reputation part? Help me, please. I'm not understanding.
Who's paying for it, the jobs they have, it opens, like, I was just mind blown. Like, to a lot of people out there, furries is just like weird and stupid people acting dumb and childish, but a lot of them are not. And
who thought that? Honestly, who thought that? They're literally people that are putting on costumes. Honestly, if you, yeah, they do act. I mean, I'm gonna keep it a buck now. They do act weird. I mean, could be seen as weird to somebody who's on the opposite side of the spectrum as them. But like, at the same time, like, like the normal person isn't thinking twice about them, bro. We've seen this stuff. We've been seeing this stuff for like years now. So like, that whole ideology, oh, you're weird, like, why are you doing this? You have a butt plug, sir, like, and it's attached to a tail. Like, I get it, but like, at the same time, bro, like, come on. I'm gonna keep it. Oh my god. I used to, when I was in high school, I think I put like a tail on like my on the back of my jeans, but I like hooked it onto like the belt loop. And yeah, I mean, I did that, I guess. So I guess he might be right. Whoever, like, the definition of anthropomorph, whatever that word is, I guess we all got it. I guess we all got that dog in us.
It's art. It's just art. I don't know how else to put it. There's some bad things about it we're going to get into later, but for the most part, it's just art, and I'm not going to crap on them just for the way they want to live their life and the different hobbies that they have. And like a lot of people, when it comes to these fursuits, they're like, hey, who's affording this? Who's paying for this? I'm telling y'all, they're all around you. I'm not even playing. The job. Let's just get into it.
Hi there. What do you do for a living?
I'm a platform interconnects and system interconnects engineer.
Meet the new standard in sleep. This is Pod 4 Ultra. It's not a bed, it's a revolution in the sleep game. Crafted for those who demand nothing but peak performance from every aspect of life, including sleep. It cools, it heats, it elevates. And it's clinically proven to give you up to 1 hour more of quality sleep per night. Pod 4 Ultra redefines sleep tech with a new hub that doubles its...
Awesome. Thank you so much. Hi there. What do you do for a living?
I study graphic design, and I've been working in logistics for a while.
Awesome. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you. Oh, God, this shit is so cringe. But like, you can, I don't know. I think that you can like kind of tell like these were like, I mean, not necessarily off the cuff, like she just came up to them and asked them. She definitely asked them for their consent to film all that stuff, and then like tried to recreate the moment of coming up to them out of the blue and asking them what you do for a living, because I mean that is like a really weird question to ask somebody. It's just like that car guy who's asking people like, what do you do for a living? Like, that's, I mean, that's a really, like, if you're asking somebody in a nice car what you do for a living, I don't know, I just feel like that's so strange. It's something about it that like, it's just so strange. Like, why are you asking me, bro? Like, and I've seen some people like get upset with that guy that's asking the question to the people in their nice cars. It's like, bro, like, who are you? Like, why are you asking me? Like, honestly, I don't know. But maybe, again, just like the people in the furry costumes, the people in the nice cars, they've worked this hard and got the nice car so that people can ask them, yo, who are you? They like the attention. They might like the attention. I don't know. I don't know. People, we do live in a very attention hungry, you know, environment across the globe. Well, not really across the globe, but kind of across the globe, where you will see people in the jungle now, not even now, like for a while, like creating like these huge, like not statues, but like homes and swimming pools out of mud and like sticks, which was debunked, but like at the same time still, like, I don't know.
Hi there. What do you do for a living?
I build navigation equipment for the Navy.
Living.
I study graphic design, and I've been working in logistics for a while.
Awesome. Thank you. Hi there. What do you do for a living?
I build navigation equipment for the Navy.
Awesome.
Okay, so I'm gonna keep it a buck, bro. Would you want somebody that was a furry protecting it, who was a furry and wearing what looks like a weed scarf, protecting our nation? Do we, bro? Was he or is he a builds navigation equipment for the Navy guy? Like, I don't know, maybe I like to think that he was, and then was like, you know, I don't like the whole guns aspect, war is not the answer, I gotta go back, you know what I'm saying? And then at the same time, I think I like to think to myself, like, bro, what if, you know, she asked like 50 people what they do for a living, as far as like, and like 40 of them said, yo, I work a normal retail job, I saved like 5 years for this costume, and I'm finally able to come to this convention, which there's nothing wrong with that. I think that's an even better story to tell, because you have to live life, you have to suffer through life as whoever, you know, you don't want to be, just in hopes that one day you can get this costume, put it on, and be around other people that you know, are like-minded with. than the person who is like rich or affluent or whatever and can just buy this costume whenever they want and do whatever they want. Because I feel like the person who had to actually, you know, suffer, quote unquote, really has like this like character arc of, you know, I like they're looking at the costume every day in their mirror when they're getting ready, like one day, you know what I'm saying? And they're working really hard to get to that place. Whereas, I mean, this guy could just be like, hey, I want attention. I have $15,000 to spend. Let me get a bear suit. Let me get a wolf suit. Also, a lot of them I've noticed are like wolves. Why the wolf? Like, why the wolf? I don't understand it. Or a dog. Like, why?
Thank you so much. Hi there. What do you do for a living?
I'm a consulting meteorologist.
Wow, that's so cool.
Oh my god, bro. Like, it's not weird. I don't think it's weird. And you know what? I never thought it was weird. I just think it's cringe.
Hi there. What do you do for a living?
I make fursuits.
Hell yeah. Thank you.
So, okay.
Hi there. What do you do for a living?
I'm a bench jeweler.
Oh my god, bro. Hi there. What do you do? It's so oh my god, this is so cringe.
A bench jeweler.
Yes.
Cool. Thank you. Hi there. What do you do for a living?
Or dragons, really. They're like either wolves or dragons. Honestly, you know what? That was the first time I've seen a horse too. But then that goes back to the whole brony thing that I was talking about before, which is My Little Ponies, but for men, adult men in their 40s. Yeah.
Well, I don't work anywhere currently, but I am studying nuclear engineering in college.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Hi there. What do you do for a living?
I work for the government.
Look at him. He's so happy. I think he wants to be a furry. I think he has something to tell us. He has something else to tell us. He has something else to tell his mom, you know? He wants to be a furry. Like, also, bro, the government, bro, like, what are you doing in the government? Do you just like count your hours until you go home and you're like, oh my god, I can finally put on this suit and be myself? I have to like people like this, and that's what I'm saying. Like, people like this, they think of themselves as somebody that they're not, because the person that they're not is either too dull, or maybe they get a lot of hate from their job or from people in general. For her, like specifically, that works in the government, there's not a lot of positivity surrounding the government right now and what they're doing. So she might be seeing all the hate online, all the hate IRL, even when she leaves her office or from her family or whatever. Then when she puts this on, goes to a convention, or is just around her friends that are also furries, it's the complete opposite. So like, I get it.
Oh.
I'm telling you, they're everywhere, making great money, minding their business, doing what they need to do to survive.
I mean, she asked like 10 people max. Like I said, there could have been like 50 people out of that whole like interaction that she fabricated, and then she selected the 10 best ones for the video. But I'll give them the benefit of the doubt.
That's just, it is what it is. This is one of their hobbies, what they like to do, what they like to spend their money on, because they have copious amounts of it, typically, to afford these outrageous and expensive fursuits. And we're going to touch on this point later on, but a big part of it for a lot of people is they love being anonymous. They love being able to be portrayed as something and not be viewed because of how they look, because they're raised, or like anything. It's just, it breaks down like that human barrier, I guess.
Let's just get to misconceptions.
I seem childish or immature, but most of us are fully grown adults who 95% of the time live perfectly normal lives with perfectly normal careers.
Okay, honestly, bro, this goes kind of hard. I'm not gonna lie, the whole purple, and I might just be saying that because my favorite color is purple, but I mean, this goes kind of hard. If my wife dressed up like this, I would think we're going through a crisis. But hey, I mean, the costume is a vibe.
We're furries.
Does she have like an extra large mug? How is she holding this with those big ass claws?
No, we don't think we're actual animals. And no, we're not attracted to animals. We
So
hate
what do you
zoophiles
think?
just as much as anyone else.
Which I learned that the zoophile thing, that's when you do get into like the nasty stuff. I'm gonna just leave that there, but there's a lot of people that are just like, I don't want any piece of that.
We're furries.
What is up, everybody? We are here at Medieval Times, and we are so excited to tell you about our new show.
Yo, okay. One thing about this ad, the first thing they showed was a black person, and during the medieval times, I'm pretty sure, you know. And I don't know if they're only doing this because for so long they never had any black people, but I'm pretty sure this guy puts on a helmet and nobody can tell the difference.
Show.
It's a belt, people.
Okay, yes, for some people it's a belt, ma'am, but for others, it could be a butt plug.
Don't be gross. We're furries.
And I hate his little fake laugh. Oh my god. Hate this man. Oh my god. Oh my god, I hate this guy so much. And I get it. I'm watching his video, and I'm gonna be real. I have watched a good amount of his videos in the past, but it's literally just because I like looking at the complete opposite side of the spectrum. Or I'm not even on, I mean, I'm in the middle of the spectrum, right? So I like to look at both sides of the spectrum. But yeah, man, I just don't like this guy.
Yes, the hobby is weird. We think it's weird too. But we're having fun, so we don't really do stuff.
I mean, that's very valid takes. It's just, that's what I've learned the most. That it's 90, like, if you see a furry, that's just 5% of their life. The other 95%, it's completely normal. You're walking past them at Walmart, Costco, whatever it may be. Similar to that.
Christian furries. I swear to God, when I saw this, I thought this was a thigh. They were dressed provocatively, but hold on.
It's like LARPing. It's like LARPing. The people that be LARPing in the park, yeah, it's something similar to that. This says, you're Christian, you can't be a furry. Forbid Christians have hobbies besides hunting and golf. There's straight male furries, there's straight women furries, Christian furries. Like, it gets associated a lot with the gay community because a lot of the furries, some of them like end up being gay, but the straight people do exist. And I feel like it gets lumped in with the gay community because of how open they are already and not like they're super less judgmental. So you're gonna see more of those people in this crowd. Forbid Christians have hobbies besides hunting and golf. That's a real statement. There's a lot of religious people that are furries because at the end of the day, they are just grown adults minding their business. And what I want to highlight in this video is just what I have learned so much the past few months. Like, I'm just completely mind blown. I'm completely mind blown. Like, I'm sure some of the viewers are watching this video now. Army 2.
So, okay. I mean, bro, like, really though? Really? Really? Like, do you need to be in this, like, I guess this costume at your base, bro? Like, how did you even sneak this in? Are you home, or are you like at the naval base or at the army base or whatever they call it, right? Like at the military base. Like, how did you sneak this in? That's the bigger.
Literally, they're everywhere.
Literally. Anyway. All right, then they have the attraction. He has this attraction chapter. Let's see what that's.
Why do people get drawn to furries? Because a lot of them are on the spectrum. For people who have a hard time making eye contact and they love animals, it provides a good childish way to be able to express yourself.
So, was that a furry or a theory?
On the spectrum. For people who have a hard time making eye contact and they love animals, to provide.
Like, does she think? Because this is a Therian, so why would he put this video in here? Because it completely contradicts, like, everything that we just talked about. This isn't a furry. This is a person that is giving an animal, giving a human. You're literally giving animal-like characteristics to a human, which is a Therian, right?
It's a good childish way to be able to express yourself without the awkwardness of eye contact that is common in most interactions. The furries are so cool. I thought they all attracted to animals before I met them.
Why do they have such a bad rap?
Do kind of look scary,
Yeah.
Especially because they're all adults. You know, if they're little kids and it was a kid subculture, but it's like an adult subculture, and they're.
I mean, they're definitely kids that are doing this. That they're 100% doing this just because they're seeing the adults do it. Maybe their parents are doing it, and they think it's cool, which it could be cool to a kid to like put on a freaking costume and dress up like an animal. I can see the draw in that. But at the same time, self-introspection, which a kid can't really do, right? So they look to the adult and then they follow the adult, and it just becomes more or less something like, oh, dad's doing it. Oh, my best friend's dad is doing it. I can do this. I think it's kind of cool, and it just sticks with them. Could be little column A, little column B. Maybe they want to, maybe they just like the costume. I don't know. But yeah.
Is a sexual component. These are people.
It's not really that scary. What did he say?
They all attracted to animals before I met them.
Why do they have such a bad rap?
Kind of look scary,
Yeah.
Especially because they're all adults. You know, if they're little kids and it was a kid subculture, but it's like an adult subculture, and there is a sexual component. These are people who enjoy costuming. I don't think they wear the furry all the time. I think furries are probably 30-70, 30 being furred out, 70 regular.
Those are some key points, and they did have a video of the theories. We're not talking about them, but those are key points.
Okay, good, because I was like, I'm glad you didn't just skip over that, because yeah.
A lot of people are on the spectrum, and they like the being anonymous and not having to make eye contact. And just,
is there like a poll? Like, are you on the spectrum? I mean, I guess it's safe to assume that you would be on the spectrum if you're, you know, on the higher end of the spectrum, if you're like dressing up as an animal, or as an exaggerated animal at that, because no wolf has purple and blue hair and a blue mouth. Like, but at the same time, like, I don't know, I guess it is safe to assume like a lot of, or a good amount of them are on the spectrum.
Just being able to just like communicate without any other thing. It's like people typically on the spectrum, they are masking, which is basically you're kind of just, you have on a fake persona pretty much. Not necessarily fake, but you're masking who you really are. And with having a literal mask on, oh, you can just let go and just be you.
It's entirely possible.
Okay, he has entirely. Entirely way too many ads for a 30-minute video. I'm not gonna suffer through this, but he has a couple of more chapters on like autism and in school. Actually, let's see the in school part. I was about to end the video there, but let's
Flashback to the time I wore my fursuit on the last week of school.
Dang, I don't get what's so funny, honestly. Yeah. Bye-bye.
A school full of MacBooks in the freaking classroom? I wish. I went to a school where, first of all, my computers had the fat backs, and they weren't the fat back MacBooks either. They're like the fat back, like, I don't even know, bro. It wasn't like this. I had just like, bro, we were on mini clip, like struggling to play games. This, bruh, there's no way. And how do you think he got this costume? Oh, they cost so much money, right, Amir? Like, how did he get this costume? How did he get this costume, right? He's in school. I doubt he has a high-paying job that. Anyway, I know this is kind of like a different style of video than what I'm used to. I mean, maybe you're not even haven't even gotten this far because I've been all over the place, and kind of slow at my responses, but I'm gonna try to make more videos. I'm definitely uploading all of my old videos that I was working on color grading for, and like just getting better at editing and all this other crap. Just because I had to delete them some time ago because YouTube considered my content as a reuse of content, which, I mean, yeah, I am reusing content, but so does half of YouTube. So like, what do they say fuck me for? Like, it literally took away my whole monetization, so I don't even care anymore. It doesn't really matter. I just love making videos, so I'm gonna re-upload them, and whether they get views or not, it doesn't really matter to me. I just want an archive of my videos somewhere that's not my computer, just taking up space unnecessarily. And yeah, so you're gonna probably see a lot of those. I do not like Amir Odom. I do watch him, so I guess you're welcome for giving you money. But other than that, have a good day. I'll talk to you later. Thank you for watching. And if you made it this far, comment basement dweller gremlin. See you next time.